I am gonna pre-apologize that I look rough, but hi everyone. I know I've not done a makeup video in a while, but I got a lot of stuff going on that I can turn into vlogs, and that's what this channel was supposed to be, vlogs. So, you've probably seen by the title, but we went to our first house viewing yesterday. Not everyone buys a house on their first look, which I knew. We went into this thinking, from all the photos we've seen online of the house on Rightmove, that we were actually going to really like this house. And yeah, we'd look at other ones, but we're probably going to go back to this one. No. What you can't see in the photos is damage to the house, which I haven't gone back to look at the photos, because if I look back at the photos and I'm like, how did I not notice that? I'd feel even worse. So, first of all, we were going to get this house and extend the upstairs toilet to put in a bath, because there's no bath in the house and we want a bath in the house. It's just a shower room. Second of all, the lights are not in the middle of the roof in any of the rooms. They're all to one corner. So, say the top of the screen is your roof. Your light's supposed to be somewhere in the middle, yes? So, obviously this is the end wall of my room. The light's there. That is the middle of the room. Now they were all like off to the corner, like the back corner as well. It's a bit strange. Which I suppose is not too difficult to rewire. The ones upstairs would be easy to rewire than the ones downstairs, but they were all like to the side, and it's really weird. But also fixable. There's skirting board on the landing upstairs that is coming away from the wall, but the guy said, it's fixable. We didn't say anything, but we could like see the big gap. It was like eating into the wall. There's a window above that. Above that window, there's a crack come down from the roof to the window. Now that could just be the way the walls are designed. So if you've ever seen someone do art where they just get a daub paint, just do a brush stroke, and it's like still thick on the canvas, they just leave it as a thick one, and they keep doing that, and that's the whole wall. Just these really big, thick. So it could just be a crack in the thick design texture of the wall. So we're not like nitpicky at that one. That could just be nothing. Then there's the shower room downstairs. Yes, there is a drain, but the floors, they look a little bit slanted in the wrong direction. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in the UK we have like a bit underneath the door between the two floors. That's like slanted downwards into the hallway outside. So meaning the water would just run straight out. And then there's so if you're stood at the double doors from the living room to the kitchen, and you're looking straight at that wall, there's a fireplace. And then it goes in a little bit, like that, and then there's your fireplace. In this corner, which is connected to a neighbour, by the way, but it's also the wall to the back garden. In that corner is damp damage. Now, my partner noticed it in a couple other places, but I didn't know. I just noticed that one because you could see they tried to colour match the paint. It just looked like they painted over it and they didn't try and fix it. It's damp in the brick. They've just painted over it and because there's damp damage, the paint's just flaking off, it's not sticking. Where my partner works, they've got that there, and they're yet to figure out how to fix it. He's a maintenance guy, basically. They can't figure out how to fix that. If they can, and they've had that for quite some time. If they can't figure out how to fix that, how are you supposed to fix it in the house? The surveyors are just gonna paint over it, basically. And then there's the smell. Now, if you've been into a museum, you know the musty, dusty smell that a museum has. It always has. An old smell that you can't really get rid of. So it's going to be there forever. I, for one, don't want to be living in a house that's got damp and smells like that, and I don't really want to bring a child into that when we have kids. So there's, that's. So we loved the look of the house and the pictures. We were really excited. We've gone from we're probably going to fall in love with this house, we're going to take it sort of mentality to, we saw the house and went down to 70-80%. And the more that we discussed it, we just the percentage of wanting it was going down and down and down and down, and now we don't want it. Because we discussed what each other's views were, what we saw. Obviously, if a lot of them crossed over, I didn't see the other damp spots. I only saw the one main one in the bottom corner of the living room. Yeah. It's once we told each other what we saw, what we obviously those things that crossed over. I said about the smell, and my partner went, "Oh, you smell that too?" I'm like, "Yeah, you kind of can't not smell that." We would have done more walking around the place we're moving to, but the rain was so bad, it was no point doing a lot of walking around, just because we didn't want to get wet, obviously. And it was just miserable. It's just a miserable day. So we looked at the house and went home. But before we looked at the house, we did do a little bit of walking around the place. I feel like we need to do more walking around the place, because I'm a little bit... Thing is, but if we move somewhere any closer to where we currently live, it's more expensive and we can't afford it. So this is the closest we can be to my mum, basically. But yeah, that's that house. Two that were our favourite, we saved on Rightmove. We're gonna go see the second one on Monday. So Wednesday next week, so in a week's time, you'll get an update on that house after we've seen that one. As far as I can tell, that one is still lived in. People are still living in it until obviously it gets bought, and then they'll skedaddle. That one's more expensive. It is the full budget. I think I explained to you that we could like it, but if the mortgage people and the surveyors say no, it would be a no. But if someone's still living in it, it must mean it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just whether the mortgage people will actually lend us the money and, do their thing and say yes. Because I do feel like we'll really, really like this one. It's just obviously the price. But there is a small chance of wiggling the price and negotiating. So, I mean, maybe we can wiggle it down a little bit. Wouldn't hurt. So this one, obviously, is already pre-lived in. It's not a shell. They've not painted the walls white or cream, because it's white and cream in that one that we went to yesterday. So basically, it's not a fresh new palette. we would have to strip and redecorate, not just decorate on top of a shell, which is fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's a project. I love a good project. It is a beautiful house. The living room, kitchen, sunroom, sounds posh, doesn't it? It's basically a conservatory, isn't it? But that's all open plan. It's all open plan from front to back. And then upstairs is just bedrooms and that, innit? We really like the open plan thing. I didn't realise it was open plan to a sunroom until my partner pointed out, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I like that. We both really like the house. But again, it's a money thing, so doesn't hurt to look, discuss, you know. Yesterday when we got home, we looked on the estate agent's website that dealt with this viewing that we went to. Because obviously on Rightmove, it's a loads of different estate agents advertising on one website. So we went to their own website. There was 2 other houses on there in the area we were going to move to that we're going to inquire in. Obviously, don't get our hopes up. It might not happen, sort of thing with these houses. We might have to go back to the drawing board, but shit happens, doesn't it? So I'm afraid that I'll completely and totally 100% fall in love with this house on Monday. I'm only afraid because it's going to be expensive if we do, and we might not even get a yes from the mortgage people. So it's I don't want to fall in love and then them say no. I don't want to fall in love and then my partner go, even if they say that we can get enough, then he might say no. He might not. And I'm not going to cry to him and convince him, please, I want the house. Because at the moment when we're not having a job, I'm trying to make this one my job. Please, I'm trying to make this my job. It's really important to me. But with him, it just being him and the mum, the budget won't go up because I don't have a job. I'm still trying to get one, trust me. It's a nightmare. So this is the point where I go, if you got this far and you want to see the rest of the journey, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're British, you'll get this one. Every little helps. Yeah, if you're British, you'll get it. But it's true, every little helps. Every little number on the analytics helps me towards my dream job, of this being my dream job. Also would help me getting a job, and maybe the budget can go up and we can actually find somewhere. But for now, obviously, we've got a budget, and yeah. So I don't think I'm missing anything. If anyone has any tips, that would be great. Any questions we should be asking the estate agent that shows us around, put them in the comments, because it is that was our first ever house viewing. I've never done one. I've always rented anyway, but I've always lived with my mum. So we've never house viewed. I've house viewed with a friend before. That doesn't count. I wasn't living there. But I've house viewed with a friend before. This is the first time I've ever house viewed for myself with my partner. Any help would be greatly appreciated. But thank you for listening. I was in no way complaining about the house. It just needed a lot more work before someone can move into it. I I'm looking forward to viewing a house on Monday, and I will let you know on the Wednesday about the house. If there's anything y'all need to know between then, I will upload a video. And obviously if a video doesn't pop up, there was stuff for you guys to know. But thank you, I appreciate every single one of you who tunes in. If you do want to follow along with this journey, you know what to do. And thank you for listening to me rabbit on about life and stuff. And I will see you all, hopefully, in the next one.